Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our exit interview with Latoya from Big Brother Canada 9. We are still in a sense of mourning here because she would have brought so much to the rest of this season had she stayed.
Yeah, she was great. She's someone that, personally, I didn't think that we would be talking to until the finale. She's really smart. She was in a great alliance. She was very straight shooter with everybody. So that type of honesty can get you really far in the game. So I'm quite shocked that we're talking to her as early as we are, but we
Yeah.
are talking to her today.
Yeah, it's a reminder Big Brother is situational. Sometimes you get bad luck, the wrong HOH at the
Yep.
wrong time. Seem to have done Latoya, and we're gonna dive into this. But of course, if you guys enjoy this interview and you want to check out our other coverage, subscribe to the channel because we're here all season long breaking down some stuff with you guys. So be sure you hit that button.
And don't forget to follow us over on Instagram at Matt and Jess TV.
All right, without further ado, let's get to the interview. Latoya, we're really, really excited. Also, why is it so soon? Why does it have to be so soon?
Yeah, honestly, Latoya, I thought we were not going to be talking to you till the finale, honestly. It's great to be talking to you, but I really wish it was at the end of the show.
I know.
You were in such a good spot. You were playing such a smart game. You had, a really great alliance. It's just, how are we here? Did you actually feel that you were blindsided?
Yeah, I think I was blindsided. I did think that I was staying. However, I did know that there was a possibility that I was going to go home, and that was always in the back of my mind. So I was mentally prepared to stay, and I was mentally prepared to go.
I think that's probably the best way to think because you want to stay optimistic in the game and you want to hope for the best, but you want to be realistic at the same time. But were you surprised in retrospect that that you were Victoria's target? I mean, is it in some way a compliment that she views you as such a threat?
I was not surprised that I was Victoria's target. I told those boys, I said, guys, it makes no sense. Why would Keith be the target? When I'm speaking to Victoria, she's telling me that I'm smart, I'm a comp beast. And I told those guys, I said, she is jealous. She has said that she's really hurt that she came to us to form an alliance and that we did not reciprocate that same energy. There are so many reasons. She's blatantly telling us to our face why I'm on the block, and just how adamant she was that I could not come off the block was also very telling.
So with the veto, Jetson decided not to use it, and Victoria was able to convince him not to use it, which I was really saddened by and surprised by. I mean, with him not using the veto, he's basically was choosing Tashawn over you, or is that how you felt?
Yeah, basically he was choosing Tashawn over me. And at the end of the day, I always knew in the back of my mind that Tashawn and Jed were number one for each other. I knew that. I knew that when it came to the end of the game, that I would have probably had to get one of them out, while a few house guests were still in the house, because if it was final three with the three of us, they're going to choose each other over me. I knew that. But this early in the game, they were loyal and they were a part of my alliance, and I trusted them and they did have my back. But I'm not shocked that, he didn't use the veto on me to essentially ensure that Tashawn would not go home.
So after we got through the veto ceremony, we saw this thing on the show where Victoria was basically like, I wouldn't have nominated Tashawn anyway. And but it's like, do you actually believe that she would have nominated Tashawn? Or is she just using bluster now that she knows that she didn't have to?
She would have nominated him. She's just throwing that out to try to, throw some water on the fire, try to cool things down and make it seem like she wouldn't have. Nothing Victoria says is believable. She is a chronic liar in Big Brother. You cannot trust anything that she says. So I do believe she would have put him up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, what we've seen.
Yeah. So what did you think about Tina flipping on you?
You know what? I'm so disappointed in Tina. I trusted her. I thought that we had a great relationship. We hit it off pretty early and I brought her into the alliance. And so I'm really disappointed that Tina flipped. But I'm also not surprised because our friendship and our relationship was deteriorating. And I saw that and I felt that she was getting distant. I just wasn't gonna beg or suck up to anybody or kiss anybody's ass. That wasn't gonna be how I was gonna play this game. I was gonna keep it real and I was not gonna be fake. And people knew where I stood with them. I was a straight shooter and I thought that would be an asset to people's game. You know where I stand.
I agree.
You,
I really
you don't have
thought, I really
you don't
thought
have
that
to guess with me.
Yeah, you being this straight shooter, I thought was going to take you to the end. That's why I'm so surprised that we're sitting here with you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely thought that as well. I definitely thought, like, you know, with so many people in the game lying, that you would want somebody that, you know, you just know where their head's at. You know what side they're playing for. You know, when they say they're not going to target you, they're going to stay to their word. And I thought that was an asset, but I guess not.
I guess, but you know, it's a lot of people ask, okay, who do you think is playing the best game? So I want to flip it a little bit to you because there's still a good many people in the house. Who do you think is playing a pretty good game, but nobody's really paying attention to them? Like, who is the most overlooked person in your mind in there?
Brayden.
I agree a lot with that. I agree. He's playing kind of under the radar and nobody's talking about him.
Brayden gives no information. He is just kind of sliding along. And anytime you ask him anything, he's stressed. Oh, like, you know, crazy, you know, period. Like, you know, Brayden, he's so likable.
Yeah.
His social game is amazing. He doesn't ruffle any feathers. He's just kind of piggybacking Austin right now.
So one of the things you were saying was that Victoria wasn't your target. So you were really surprised that she was targeting you. So who would have been your target then?
Prior to Victoria's move, my target would have been Kyle and Bro. I would have put them beside each other on the block because that would ensure one of them goes home. And I felt that I needed to split them up.
And you said just a minute ago that you were loyal to Jed and to Sean, but you knew, you know, in your heart that they were really, really loyal to each other and that you may have to cut one of them. So I'm curious here how far ahead you're thinking while you're in the game. Did you already kind of know, okay, this is the final three I want? And if so, who would you have wanted to go to that final three with?
I would have liked to go to the final three with Ty and Jed because I also believed in my capabilities to also beat them. So although I saw them as strong players, I wasn't intimidated by that. I knew that I was just as good or could be even better. So I had no issues taking them to final three. It's just that when I got to final three, I need to be in power. So I'm deciding who I'm taking with me and they're not making the decision.
So during campaigning, do you wish that there was something you could have done more, like campaigned a bit harder or, you know, talked a little bit more about, you know, why to keep you without sort of, like you said, you know, kissing anyone's ass or anything like that, but have more conversations?
No, I think the decision was already made. I think this plan was already forming. I think that people saw the opportunity and I don't think anything I could have done would have kept me in that house. I was a threat and they wanted me out from day one.
So I guess this is sort of carries into that in that, you know, yeah, you were a threat. You seem to have done well in competitions. You had a really good alliance. And it's hard when it's in your position where it's like, we were sitting here a week ago being like, Latoya is playing one of the best games. And now here we are. So just like looking back at the game and being like, okay, is there anything game-wise over the course of this you wish you would have done differently? Or are you just one of these people who's just able to live with that regrets? Like you're not going to be sitting around and thinking about, oh, I should have done this, that, or the other differently after the fact.
No, I'm not going to be sitting around saying, you know, I should have done this, that, or the other. Yeah. I'm really proud of how I played. I stayed true and I stayed authentic to myself and I kept it real. And I would rather leave the Big Brother house knowing that I can watch these episodes and look at myself and be really proud of how I carried myself and how I represented myself in the game that I played, rather than get further into the game, leave and look back and be like, oh, who was I? Like, I
Yeah.
hated how I played and have regrets about the things that I did in that house. The only regret I have is not getting Ro out.
You tried.
Oh yeah, you tried. And yeah, that would have been, that would have helped quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Latoya. Well, we have just a minute here. So, what last thing? I'm always curious about this. You're out of the house now. You can actually, like, think and be a little bit more in your normal life. Like, what's the first thing you're gonna do once all this press stuff is over and you can actually just relax again?
I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna lay in bed. I'm gonna have a bubble bath. I'm just gonna continue to disconnect a little bit from, social media and the world, and just take time to really reflect and decompress and take this all in. So I'm just gonna be spending a lot of time with my family, my friends, my dog, and just, take it all in. Take it all in.
So I have one last question. Will you ever come back to the show if you're asked?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. I've said no and I've said yes, and it's a difficult question to answer. I don't know if I would do it again, but anything is possible.
We will cling on to that
I will hold on
possibility.
to that.
Well, thank you. You're so much fun to talk to. We are all missing out with you being evicted at this point, but thank you so much for the chat.
you.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
No worries. You have a good rest of your day.
Bye.